Oh, see,
sorry.
no, that's, you know what? Ah, damn it.
I didn't know we were
we're just leaving
recording.
it. Screw it. We're
Okay.
going.
We're
Hey,
going
everybody.
live.
We are. Yep. Well, you know who it is. You know it's Brian and Marnell, the zombified 30-something, and
Diane's little sister, Marnell.
yeah, because we're not even on the same page because we were just talking about, you know what, you can't polish a turd. Let's just hit record, and then we went, and then we weren't ready, and now we're ready, and here we are. Bam, 25 seconds into your recording, and you're going, wow, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I'm totally rah Walking Dead, and I really have nothing good to say about this episode. I was very surprised in our text last night that Diane is on the same page as us, that this episode could have literally not happened and we would have been totally fine with it. I mean, you could have just given me like a quick rundown of what we missed next week and I would have been fine not watching this episode.
Yeah, I think some of our knee-jerk reaction right off the bat was, why weren't these two episodes combined?
Yeah, not even that. Everything in this episode, it didn't jive with me. None of it I'm like, I'm annoyed. I saw one headline that I found funny that it was basically a Fallout 4 quest. And last night I kept calling it a Mad Max Thunderdome ripoff.
Yeah, I was calling
the
it
Scavengers.
the Fat Albert and the Junkyard Gang.
Yeah, and you know what? Jadis doesn't even get a name. We're not even calling her Jadis. We're calling her Madam Trash Heap because, like, what was that?
Yeah, terrible haircut.
3 to 4 years into the apocalypse, and suddenly we're not like using our
adverbs
skills
elude
anymore.
Them.
Yeah, I mean, it was seriously. I kept seeing that scene in Thunderdome where they're gathering around and they're telling the story about the Tomorrowland. They're
yeah, bring you by life back. Bring.
Yeah, uppity up.
Yeah, we know hassle. We know hassle only take.
And her hand movements and that weird little drill team maneuver they did to surround everybody was just like, what was that? I mean, the CGI was not impressive, but your junkyard's impressive enough, and you guys already kind of look menacing with your post-apocalyptic gear, and I was glad to see some girls with some grungier hair because it really drives me nuts that everyone has nice hair, nice non-greasy hair on the show.
Well, yeah.
I'm sitting here and I didn't wash my hair today, and I look like they do 3 to 4 years into the apocalypse. So it's just everything. Like I can't even follow the script of our own show because I'm just so upset at the main show.
Well, let's do some ratings real quick here. Let's. Oh, wait, we got viewer numbers from last year, or not last year, but last episode.
So, The Rock and the Road. The numbers are in
the mid-season premiere. The mid-season premiere.
Brian's going to be very surprised to find out. Same live viewership was 5.7, and it improved to 7.7 live plus 3. And let's see, looks like live plus 7, 12 million, and somehow they came out to almost 16 million viewers by the end of
adding in all the numbers, all the DVRs and stuff.
So
that's really surprising.
Yeah, they had a lot of viewership, and it was up against the Grammys last week.
Yeah, because I taped it. I taped it. Oh yeah, I'm old. I taped it. Yep. I DVR'd it, so I was one of those live plus. I was a live plus 1 hour. I wasn't live plus 3 days. I was live plus 7. Once I watched Metallica at the Grammys, then I moved on and watched Walking Dead. But all right, well, you heard the numbers. We don't have any this week either. When Diane's away, we don't.
Well, it's kind of too soon for the numbers. We are recording on Monday night, so I may be able to dig in somewhere and find live, but I don't think it was up against anything this week that I can remember.
Nope.
Which was probably good for viewership. So a lot of people saw this craptastic mess.
Yeah, a lot of people are pissed off then.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, is everyone just a paid shill nowadays? Because, like, I saw a lot of people raving about this episode. And, of course, the Talking Dead's always going to rave about it. A lot of the sponsored or paid podcasts or shows are not gonna, look a gift horse in the mouth or bite the hand that feeds them, I guess. But yeah, I saw a lot of people that were like, yes, this is an awesome episode. And I'm like, what about it was awesome?
Yeah. Well, I gave it a 1.5 terrible trash haircuts out of 5.
I gave it 2 pincushion walkers.
Ooh. That was okay. So let's just do this. My epic was that walker. I thought that was very creative in how can we have a walker that nobody's used to killing? And it reminded me of a walker that snuck up behind Rick, and Michonne went to chop its head off, but it had a piece of rebar in its neck, and she hit the rebar and she couldn't cut through it, and then Rick had to do some finagling to kill it. So that was cool. I was like, wow, all right, this is actually pretty cool. How are you going to make a walker that can't be killed? You can't kill his brain because he's got a helmet on, but he's covered in spikes, and even if you try and kick him off of you, he's still going to cut you, so he's just going to wear you down. This is pretty cool.
You know what you do? You go to the side of it and you kneecap it. You just stomp right on that knee.
Or you put trash bags on it.
Or that. I liked, do you watch The Talking Dead? Did you watch it?
Nope, I'm done with that.
They had a Monty Python Holy Grail reference, which I love Monty Python, and it was the Black Knight scene where, they're like cutting off his arm and tis but a scratch, and so they did a whole thing with that. It was really funny because I'm a Monty Python fan, but yeah, the walker was really cool. It's something we hadn't seen before. But again, Thunderdome reference, 2 men enter, 1 man leave, the whole episode just seemed like a ripoff to me. Yeah. I couldn't get past it.
Well, and it was, again, I hate the trash people from Trashlandia. He was like, so you're just waiting for someone to come by who was worthy? And she goes, no, name Winston. What? Like, stop it. Come on, just stop it.
Yeah. Her whole manner of speaking, it was just, it annoyed me so badly. Now, a lot of people were the same way with King Ezekiel. Yeah,
but that's different. I mean,
it's different because he knows he's putting on an act. He's putting on an act for a purpose, and he does break character for some people. And it's really just sort of a showmanship and it was part of him before the apocalypse. He was a Shakespearean actor on the stage, and so that I get, that I can forgive, but this is just weird.
Well, I thought, I'm like, oh, well, maybe they're, just some like hillbilly mountain crew from the way back hills, but then I'm like, no, wait, they're up by DC, so never mind. They're up in the Maryland, wherever, that area. So, no, not possible.
Yeah. And I call BS on her bangs. Nobody can keep their bangs, quite that perfect.
Sharp metal they make.
Yeah, apparently.
Ooh, they're like trash Yodas.
There was also a reference to Star Wars on The Talking Dead, and Han battling one of the monsters, and then there was a whole debate about them going into the trash thing on one of the ships. And
oh yeah,
and so they see there was another thing where the whole episode just felt like it just, and not even like paid homage. It was a ripoff of a bunch of other stuff. And I know it's hard to come up with something new because everything always is ripping off a Hitchcock film or The Twilight Zone. But this just seemed to be so blatant and so, yeah.
So did you have an epic?
I did. I really liked the scene when Daryl and Carol first came together. When they first came together, let me be clear, the porch scene. When they went inside, I have a whole other rant about that. But the porch, when that was a tearjerker for me when Daryl and Carol found each other, or Daryl found Carol. That was my epic, and it was such a small epic, and then it was overshadowed by what happened later. So
All right. Well, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
So my fail is obviously and clearly the fact that the trash people, like it, the way they'd kind of set it up and the way it just, like you said, where they were walking the big circle and they were surrounding people and getting them isolated into this nice two circles. And
It was very drill teamish and weird.
yeah, it's like they were all in marching band at some point, and they were just kind of doing it as a show of force. And I think Rick realized that right off the bat, like, this is all fake. This is all fake, and I am going to kill you all.
Yeah. You and I are on the same page about these people are they're going to be pawns in a larger game of chess that Rick and Negan are playing.
Yes. So we had that discussion, so I'll bring listeners up to speed. So we were having a discussion offline, and we'll just talk about it now because this episode's, we had an idea that Rick, when he kind of settled on his bet or on the negotiation about having a deal, he is literally, I made the joke of Operation Human Shield from the South Park episode where he is literally going to put them all out front or put them in at a choke point to get ambushed and kill them all. So he doesn't have to share anything with these people because of the way they're doing him right now. If people tried this with 2 seasons ago, Rick, he would have killed them all. He would have been like, yep, okay, we'll be right back. We'll go get your stuff. And then he would have came back and killed them all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually find it funny. I was just doing a little Googling last night when we were doing the group text with the three of us. I had called them Garbage Patch Kids, and you corrected me to Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes.
And that's exactly what a whole bunch of places are calling them. I haven't seen any references to anyone calling Jadis Madam Trash Heap like I did, but I think that's what we're calling them from now on is Madam Trash Heap and the Garbage Pail Kids. Just these people are total throwaways. Nobody had any lines besides the couple, Madam Trash Heap and
Toppy Top.
The one older guy. Yeah. Oh God. Like I can't. I normally what I do to prep for the show is I watch it, I do a rewatch, and I have the synopsis printed out from AMC's webpage. And they didn't put up a synopsis this week for this episode, and so I wasn't able to do that. I did not do a rewatch because I am so annoyed at this episode that I feel like I wasted an hour of my life, and that really makes me upset at Walking Dead. And I really hope this is just a one-off. And it looks like next week we're back in Negan's compound 2 days ago.
Yes. So what's your fail then?
The
last 5 minutes.
My fail really it has to be everything that surrounded the scavengers, which is their proper name, but just everything that surrounded them. I can't get over how it seemed hokey and a ripoff, and I can't go anywhere beyond that. Like it was so awful.
So is this officially the person? This is officially the person who was watching them at the lake and then showed up at the door at night and then spooked. And that's like, what a letdown. Are you kidding me?
Well, and what's her wording? They don't disturb. They only take something to that effect. And that's exactly what they were doing. Is she said that they were watching for someone to go get the stuff off of the boat for like a year. And, because Rick was like, you guys waited for a year? And, only take, not disturb. Yeah.
Which is like, I am going to kill you all.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you all.
You basically are you're parasitic thieves is what it is. And everyone steals. And of course now we find out that they made Father Gabriel steal. We all thought that Gabriel did this intentionally, and he was forced to do this. But these people wait for everyone else to do the hard work, and then they steal what, you worked so hard for. Which also annoys me because, it's one thing to steal from someone, but put some effort into it.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what's your
So
epic then? What is your epic fail?
my epic fail is Daryl and Carol. The
Well,
scene
we're going to share
after the
this one.
porch.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
sharing this one.
yeah. So you think he should have been honest?
Yes. Are you kidding
Yes.
me? And
Why?
just
What's your reasoning?
my reasoning is you've waited this long to get back to her, to know that she's alive, and all of these feelings that you're having, and you realize that she's happy being alone, and you're not even going to tell her.
She does not deserve the pretty lie.
No,
No.
no.
She needs to hear the truth. And I know everyone's like, oh, we should have told her the truth, and then she'd come back and she'd fight because, of what happened to Abraham and what happened to Glenn and what happened to Olivia? Olivia, yeah. And of course what they did to Daryl. And, no, he should have told her the truth because she doesn't deserve the pretty story that he gave her.
Well,
And she's
nobody
going to
does.
find out. She's going to find out sooner or later.
Well, somebody's going to let it slip to
Right,
then Rick.
exactly.
So now you're causing more friction, because then when Rick finds out that Morgan lied and that Daryl lied, did you know? Yeah, I knew she was there. She just wanted to. No, absolutely not.
And Carol's going to find out the truth eventually too, and know that Daryl and Morgan lied to her. Because the kid Benjamin, he knows what happened to their group, that what Nika did, and he doesn't know he needs to keep it a secret from Carol. And he's like, Carol's like all of a sudden his surrogate mama, so he's going to go back and something's going to slip. And yeah, don't lie in the apocalypse. Honesty is the best policy to begin with, but. It's like being the person in the group that got bit. Just own up,
Well, to me, it just felt like, I thought when he came back to her to give her a hug, I thought he was going to give her a kiss.
No, I'm not a Daryl Carol relationship. No, it's just it doesn't work for me.
But it's so obvious. Like, it's just so obvious that it's there. But they're never going to do it because he's supposed to be asexual and blah. Whatever, dude. Just stop it. It just doesn't make sense. Just stop.
I think that I don't feel the tension with those two. I have a strictly platonic view of their relationship, and I don't know why. And maybe it's just because nobody's good enough for Daryl.
No, maybe. But, I don't know. It just fell out of place where she's sitting on the floor by the fire and she's crying and everybody's okay, right? And this person, that person, and then Daryl.
She has to know that it's a lie too. Like,
yep. Everyone's okay. We struck a deal. Yep, we're all good.
Yeah, her and Daryl are so close. She would have to know when he's lying, and she would have to know that everything they've been through. Nobody is perfectly okay right now. Like I don't see the whole scene was really bad, and it's going to come back to bite everyone in the behind.
But maybe that's her whole point is even though I know he's lying, he still told me that, so I'm okay.
Ugh,
because
right. You're right.
Technically, he said everyone was okay. So even though I think they're not, he said they were. So that's good enough for me. I'm going to go back to making cobbler.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. We'll see. I like the guy's plan though. I like Richard's plan. How he said, "No, we're going to jump them. I left a trail back to this lady's house. It's going to be great." And that was a good plan. It was a good plan. I like Richard, where he's like, "Screw this lady.
Yeah,
I don't care." She comes waltzing in and she steals the heart of Ezekiel for some dumbass reason. Screw this.
She's getting to live out in the caretaker's house, and everyone brings her food and books and whatever, and she doesn't have to do any of the work or be involved in any of the drama. No. Nope.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've said it before, and I'm sure we'll continue to say it, at least about Carol, if not Rosita. Like, if you're so keen to go off on your own and die, do it.
And then go off on your own.
Yeah, don't sit right outside the gates and be, catered to.
Yep.
And
you're within a stone's throw for a reason.
And Rosita keeps being like, well, I'll do it on my own. Go. Just go. Stop talking about it and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I love her. I agree.
I
We're
love her
in the
too.
rotten potpourri section. If anyone hasn't figured that out yet, sniff, sniff, we're there.
Like I said, this is going to have no form or structure. This is just going to be like 60-minute bitch fest. So yeah, the Rosita thing is driving me nuts. It seems like the Carol thing, and I'm over it. I just be a team player or get off the team.
Yeah, the Rosita thing, normally I'm her biggest fan regardless. But this episode, it was kind of like, all right, just stop it. Thank God Tara was like, why are you looking for a fight when we're trying to prepare for one?
Grow up, Tara.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really? Only immature people tell other people to grow up. So my rotting potpourri has to do with Tara too.
Ooh.
She still hasn't spilled the beans about Oceanside or whatever.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's this next episode. I think they're going to split it between her and Eugene.
I really want her to. I really want, of course, and she's going to have to eventually. But I'm really proud of her for keeping the secret for this long because I don't know if I could have. I think I would have pulled Rick or Michonne or Sasha aside and been like, "Look, I'm not supposed to tell anyone, but what do you think?" I don't like secrets in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I think she's done well, but you could see she's going to spill it because Rick's like, well, you can tell us where we shouldn't be looking. And then she just kind of smiled and had that smirk on her face like, oh, I'm going to tell you exactly where to look.
Yeah. Well,
but I think she's going to do it by herself. I think she is going to go return there by herself.
You think so?
I think she's going to say, look.
You think her and Rosita are going to go on a bonding expedition?
I don't think they're even going to take Rosita. I think she knows that. Nope, it's going to be a solo thing where she's going to say, I need you to drop me off here. I need to go there by myself. If you're a male, they will shoot you on sight. If you're female, they're going to try and kill you.
Yeah, I was going to say that would make the most sense because they might see Tara come back and alone and not feel as threatened as if she had returned with somebody else.
Right. If she brings somebody else, then it's game over because she could say, I've kept your secret. I've kept it 100%, but I want you guys to know I'm here to let you know these three communities are coming together for an all-out war on Negan. And the only thing we're missing.
You think she'll be straight with him this time?
Yep. I think she's going to lay it all out there.
Yeah, she has to because she's such a horrible liar.
And she's going to say, look, you can kill me. If you're going to kill me like you were trying to, that's fine because I'm going to die anyways. But know that if you kill me, that's one less person who's going to be killing somebody of Negan's people.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
So, do you want to hear? So,
Yes, Brian has a timeline, and I am so anxious to hear this.
Yeah, so my timeline, this is the big bit here. My timeline for how this back half is going to end right before the all-out war on Negan's compound. Because we've been assuming that this all-out war is going to be the last couple of episodes of this season. But I am here to tell you, friends, that it is not. It is not going to happen. So, we get our Eugene episode. So there's one. Eugene, and let's even throw in Daryl. Not Daryl, Dwayne. Let's throw Dwayne in, even in the Eugene episode. So there's one episode.
Dwight,
yeah, what did Dwayne? Okay. Whatever, whoever. Somebody, some D-bag. So we have 6 episodes. So there's your Eugene and Dwight episode. So now we're down to 5. 5 is they've got to gear up the trash babies, the garbage pail kids.
Yep.
So they've got to spend an episode hunting around and getting stuff to buy their support. So that's not just something they're going to all of a sudden stumble upon a weapons cache out. Oh, look, hey, we all went east instead of west, and we found a whole bunch of guns that nobody else, they have to devote time into that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's as easy as going to Oceanside. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think there's no way you can skirt that because I would have rather watched that play itself out for an hour than watch the garbage we just watched play out for an hour.
Yeah.
So there's 2 episodes. Our 3rd episode is Ocean View, Oceanside, whatever you want to call it. Because that's going to take a while. Because Tara has to convince the group that she needs to leave by herself and nobody follow her. Then she has to go there, convince them all, and then she has to leave.
So far out too.
Yeah. So that's a whole bunch of stuff all in one. Also, will we see Heath? So there's 3 episodes.
God, I forgot about Heath. I was thinking that they killed him off, but no, he's still kicking around somewhere.
Yeah, there was that matchbook or something that she found. That was a clue to whoever he was with.
The key card, I think.
Key card, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 3 episodes. Your 4th episode is the Hilltop and Gregory. That still has to finish up. Gregory has to rat out the plan, or he has to run away, because Maggie has to be the leader.
And Daryl was going back to Hilltop, so that is definitely going to be an episode.
And that's not something you can just skip over and just be like, oh, Maggie's the new leader now. We're done here. So that has to happen. The Hilltop, Jesus, all that has to happen. There's 4. The kingdom has to come together. The kingdom has to decide that they're getting in this war. Because we talked about how is it going to happen with Daryl, and Daryl telling Richard, you know, he said, I'm going to die for the kingdom. He said, why don't you? I think, and we talked about this earlier, that Richard is going to set it up like he's almost killed, or he is at the next drop when they go to deliver goods, he's just going to kill that guy. The guy
that's
keeps getting his face.
Episode 13 has a synopsis, and so it is about the drop off and kingdom and everything. So that's definitely coming.
So he's going to kill him. He's going to get killed. It leaves no choice for Ezekiel to say, all right, we got to go. So there's 5 episodes. Your last 6 episode is everybody coming together. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like standing on a hill looking down at Negan's compound. And that's it.
Yep.
There's your 6 episodes. That's the rest of the season. We are not the whole rise up garbage that we've been fed.
And that is exactly what it is this season is Rise Up. It's not all out war.
It's not all out war.
It's they titled this season correctly. It is Rise Up, not war.
There you go, folks.
Yep. Brian's right.
That's 6 episodes.
Yep. Now, there's a synopsis online for the next 3, and then the 3 after that don't have synopsises. So
that's it.
Yep, we will not get war this season.
So it came in like a lion and out like a lamb.
You know, and everyone complained about how gory and bloody and awful and violent and everything the season premiere was. And we saw 2 walkers die this episode. We haven't seen anyone die. Yeah, and this has been a very muted second part of the season. So, I mean, last week the tightrope thing was really cool and killed a bunch of walkers, but you know, we really haven't lost a lot of people. We haven't. There's just Fat Joe. That's it. Am I right? Have we lost anyone else?
No.
Yeah, Fat Joe's been the only human death that I can think of, and like I said, 2 walkers this episode.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to have to live with it or rise up against AMC. Unless they want to sponsor us, then I think this is a great episode. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people who were either wrong watching a different show or were paid to say this was a good episode, because it wasn't there for me. And you know me and Diane are both usually, I'm usually a little lower than Diane, and her and I think she even gave it a 2. Oh, didn't she?
We got to mention the crossbow. So she sent us a note about the crossbow being handed back to Daryl and him getting his manhood back, so to speak, getting his confidence back. You know, he was always kind of that, ever since Dwight took his crossbow, he's always kind of been that battered and abused, bullied kid, you know, back to where his dad and Merle were beating on him, and he was always timid and shy and scared.
Crossbow symbolizes Daryl's power, so Daryl's power has returned.
Yeah, because he did. I mean, he completely flipped a switch, because even when he was giving it to him, he was like, you sure?
Yeah.
Can I take this? Is this a
They
trick?
lingered on that scene. Yeah. Yeah. And, this is actually, I didn't realize this. This is actually his third crossbow in the series.
Really?
I thought it was only his second, but this is his third crossbow. So I thought it was symbolic that he kept getting the same one back, but not really. It's okay for him to change crossbows. It's just about the crossbow, not that specific one.
And then also when Rick impaled his hand on one of the spikes, maybe some sort of religious tie-in, some crucifix. I don't know if I'd go that far, Diane, saying that.
I don't know. Rick's our savior.
I think it more has to do with just giving that battle some firepower. Because if Rick would have gone out of that unscathed,
yeah,
it would have been like, okay, that was a complete. Then we would have been mad about that part. So I think it had to do some damage, but something he could recover from quick. So he's got the hole in his hand.
I really hope he's had a tetanus shot in the last couple of years, or
and that's the thing. Like, he would have gangrene and he would be dead.
MRSA. I mean, and then he had to fiddle around with all the trash and everything. It's like, thanks, Madam Trash Heap. Now I'm going to die from an infected hand. Or is this how he loses his hand?
Bum, bum, bum. So I was pondering that on where instead of Rick actually losing his hand, he's just handicapped by it right now.
Yeah.
So it is his right hand.
It is his right hand.
That is his sighting hand. That's his
Yep.
trigger hand. How's that going to hold up? Is that going to affect him in his final battle with Negan, and why he has to capture Negan alive and can't kill him because he couldn't pull the trigger because it hurt?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's the end of my motivation.
Yeah, the episode, the title of this episode was New Best Friends, and I really don't think Madam Trash Heap and the Garbage Pail Kids are our new best friends. So,
do you think maybe new best friend is Shiva and Daryl because she liked him, she was letting him pet her? Mm-hmm. Is that the new best friend?
Somebody did point out that Daryl being locked in the room, it probably helped him bond with Shiva, who was in her cage. He could sympathize with, being locked up, even though Shiva's free to roam a lot of the time. I think she's probably just in there when.
Well, I thought that was kind of odd. I'm like, wait a minute, why isn't Shiva just hanging out in Ezekiel's house?
Okay, well, I'm dog sitting 2 other little dogs right now, so if you hear tiny little barks in the background, that's them. And we have to kennel them during the day.
Yeah, but if it's a zombie apocalypse, are you really worried about that?
Somebody did point out that what tigers probably dream of in the zombie apocalypse is meat, because they're not getting enough of it. And so for the safety of all the kingdomers, yeah, he probably doesn't. Shiva probably needs to be kenneled during the day.
Fun.
I kennel the little dogs during the day because they'll destroy my doors. They scratch at the doors.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think we're headed the Eugene Dwight episode. I think we'll see more of, Dwight's going to get called to the stand here this next week because we heard it on the radio with Negan that they had a code red. Daryl's missing.
Yeah,
where'd he go?
There's a trailer for the upcoming episode where everyone's gathered around Fat Joe's body, and it dawns on Dwight, and he just gets this horrified look on his face and goes booking it down to Daryl's cell, and lo and behold, the cell is empty. And so the teaser trailer ends on Dwight just going green.
So was it Dwight's wife that let him go?
Yeah, I don't know. That was the scuttlebutt. It was the wife, because she kind of took a shine to Daryl. Yeah. Interesting.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah. So I really think this was a one-off episode with the scavengers that I was not enthused about. That next episode really looks good, but they are rolling us back a couple of days, because we at least had one overnight when Gabriel, left with all the stuff. So we're rolling back in time a couple of days for this and revisiting Sanctuary when Rick and the crew were stealing the dynamite and everything. So,
all right. Well,
Yeah.
folks, it's been a tremendous 36 minutes.
It was a traumatic hour.
Yeah, let's hope we get some juice here. Let's hope we get some meat and some potatoes next week. And let's just remember to take it
One dead day at a time.
Bye.
Still not. Bye, guys.